Hello, this is Mr. Kissinger. We're on 5th grade math, module 1, lesson 9. Our objective today is add decimals using place value strategies and relate those strategies to a written method. So we're going to start by using place value strategies and then move into that written method using the standard algorithm for adding, which we should already be familiar with. We just have not used decimals using that standard algorithm yet. So we'll get into that today. So let's look at the beginning of our page here, and I'm going to use a little bit of extra paper because it didn't give us a whole lot of room to work here, and I want to be able to draw some of these place value charts to help us understand how this works a little bit better. It says solve and then write the sum in standard form. Use a place value chart if necessary. So our first question here, letter A, it says 1/10 plus 2/10 equals blank, and then blank tenths, which equals what in standard form. So 1/10 plus 2/10 equals 3/10. Oh, and I already have tenths written in there for me, so I'll just write 3 right in the middle here, 3/10. And 3/10 looks like this. Here's our decimal point. We could put a 0 before it if we wanted to. 0.3 is 3/10. 3 in our tenths place. So next we look at, we have 14/10 plus 9/10 equals blank. So 14 plus 9 is 23. So we have 23/10. And what that would look like in a place value chart is we would draw our ones, tenths. I don't really need hundredths, but I made another box with hundredths in here. All right, and our decimal point is right here, right between our ones and our tenths. And if we have 23/10, I'm going to give myself a little more work here. I'm going to have to draw 23 of them in here. So 23/10 will look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And now what I can do is every time I have 10 in one of my place values, we know we can move that 10 over to get 1 in our next place value. We can just turn that into, so 10/10 will turn into 1 or 1 unit. If we had 10 hundredths over here, 10 of those could go over here and become 1/10, because if we have 10 hundredths is 1/10. If we have 10/10, 10/10 is one unit or just 1. So we're going to circle our tens. So we have right here, or our tenths, excuse me. We have 10/10 there, and then we have 10/10 here, and then we have 3 left over. So this here is going to become 1 in our ones. This is going to become 1 in our ones. It goes out of our tenths, and we have 1. Our decimal point's right here. 1 and 3/10. So it can either be 23/10, or we would call it 1 and 3/10, or 1.3, or 1 and 3/10. So every time we have 10 in a place value, we can move it over to the next largest place value, and we condense that into 1 in the next place value. So if we had 10 ones, we would make it 1/10. 10 ones and 1/10 are the same number. All right. So let's move on to our next one. If we have 100th and 200ths, we add those together, we get 300ths. Put our decimal point here. We have no tens and 300ths. Letter D, we had 2700ths plus 500ths is 3200ths. And so if we do our place value chart, we had we'll just make 2 this time. We'll just do tenths and hundredths. Our decimal point is right here. We have tenths, hundredths, and again we can draw this out if we need to. We can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. And every 10, we can move over into our tenths. So we have 3200ths, we'll take 10, 20, 30 of those away. We'll make sure we get those ones in there. And we're going to move these over. So now we have 1, 2, 3 tenths. So we'll cross these out. And we have 2 left over at the bottom here. And those are going to be our hundredths. So we'll have 3. Remember our decimal point's right over here. 2 hundredths. So 0.32. We can put 3 in our tenths, 2 in our hundredths, or 0.32. All right. So let's move down here to the bottom here. We're going to solve a few using the standard algorithm. All right. So we have 0.3 or 3 tenths plus 0.82 or 82 hundredths. So we'll do 0.3, 0.3. Now, the important thing when we're using the standard algorithm with decimals is we have to make sure that our decimals are lined up, so all of our place values are lined up. Otherwise, we can end up with something like this, where we'd have 0.03 and then 0.82, and we add them together. We're not going to get the right answer because our decimal points are not lined up. So make sure that when we are using this algorithm, both of our decimal points are right in line with each other, lined up. And we have 0.82. And if it helps us, we can add in our hundredths place up here, and let's put in a 0. We always add those zeros onto the end of our decimal, and it's not going to affect our math on that. And we'll add those together. And now we're just using our standard algorithm we should all be pretty familiar with. We can add 0 plus 2, we get 2. 3 plus 8 is 11. We're going to put 1 down here, and then we carry our 1. And then we bring this 1 right down. And then the last thing we need to do that's really important is we need to bring our decimal down. We'll put it right here. Then we get 1.12 or 1 in 12 hundredths. So the only difference is we have to make sure that we use our decimal point and carry that decimal point down as well, right in the same place. So as long as we're lined up. Let's do this one right here. We have 1.03 plus, make sure our decimal points are lined up, 0.08. So we'll do 3 plus 8. is 11. Bring our 1 down. Bring our other 1 down. And then we need to, last but not least, very importantly, we need to bring down our decimal point as well. So we're going to do 1.11 or 1 and 11 hundredths. We'll do this one as well. We'll do 7.3, 7 3/10 plus 2.8, 2 8/10. 3 plus 8, again, is 11. 1 plus 7 plus 2 is 10. 0. We carry our 1, and this is going to come over into our tenths place over here. And make sure we bring the decimal point down in the right place. Right here, straight down. And that'll get us 10.1, or 10 1/10. All right, and I think we have time to do this last one as well, so we'll do this one. B is 57.03, and then we have 2.08. Again, my decimals are lined up; they're both right on top of each other. And we have 3 plus 8 is 11. We have 3 plus 8 in every single one of these. 3 plus 8 is 11. Bring down our 1. Now we have something in our tens place. 7 plus 2 is 9. And then we bring down our 5. And then last but not least, we need to bring down our decimal as well. Don't forget to bring down that decimal. We have 59.11. Because if we don't bring our decimal down, we end up with 5,911, and that doesn't make sense. If we had about 57 plus about 2 is not going to end up being 5,911. So if we put our decimal in its place, now we can look and we go, okay, this is about 57. This is about 2. 57 plus 2 is 59. We're at about 59, 59.11. So again, we can use estimation to make sure that our decimal is in the right place, and it seems about right. So that is it for lesson 9. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and we will see you next time.